Okay, it is Monday, February 6th. Beautiful but breezy and windy 48 degrees out here. Sorry I missed last week. I had some personal business to attend to and was unable to do a video.
Just couldn't make it on time.
But that of course builds up 2 weeks of nonsense that I could sit and pick from to make fun of, because the distractions just continue to be rolled out in front of everybody. And the more ludicrous the distractions are, to me, makes me hopeful that people will start to see how ludicrous all the distractions are. I'd have to go with my favorite clip of the week that I just saw, is this Fetterman speech about water.
Today, I am now proud to stand here with you, Senator, and support the President to get more and more things here in Pennsylvania.
All right.
Improving the roads and the bridges, replace the lead pipes, and to get more stuff done. And that's really what Democrats like us, like the President, get doing for the last 2 years.
Say what?
We should all support replacing the lead pipes and ensuring that everyone has clean, safe, clean drinking water.
And a retard.
I mean, these are the people that, of course, are supposedly elected into power to manage infrastructure. But the reality is they're all retards and puppets that are put there to cause distractions and use their buffoonery as an excuse for the upcoming events.
Secretary Blinken, take any blame for inflation? Could you just, President?
Am I taking blame for inflation? No.
What?
Why not?
Because it was already there when I got here, man.
Come on, man.
Remember what the economy was like when I got here?
Come on, man.
Jobs were hemorrhaging.
Come on, man.
Inflation was rising.
Come on, man.
We weren't manufacturing a damn thing here.
Come on, man.
We were in real economic difficulty.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
It's all about round-the-clock sex. It's all.
Come on, man.
That's why I don't. Thank you.
The purposeful allowance of the inflation of the currency, the US dollar, and all of the rising in prices for everything that need someone to be blamed. So the buffoonery continues, and as long as you know that it is purposely being manufactured to bring about a new system that will consist of digital, trackable, surveillable currency that can be shut off if they don't like your behavior or things you say or your perception of their narrative.
Nobody will be safe if not everybody is vaccinated.
Encompassed by an entire police state, surveilled and centralized and run by these lunatics at a centralized point that right now is being fronted up by the World Economic Forum with presentations and agendas that are building an in-our-face technocracy like this one on transparent brain function that they think is so great as long as we do the right thing with it.
How many of you wear something like an Apple Watch? Fitbit, smart device? Yeah, many people. It's a many billion-dollar company. I mean, many billion-dollar industry at this point. Wearable devices, quantifiable self is just a widespread movement. Most people are very comfortable with at least some forms of human quantification. In fact, it's become so widespread that most people feel like there's not that much to worry about when it comes to doing something like monitoring your heart rate.
False.
But it turns out that that kind of technology in the workplace, particularly when it's used to monitor productivity of employees, where they're moving throughout the factory floor, whether or not they're taking breaks or unscheduled breaks, is the kind of thing that employees resist, unionize against, rise up against, and undermines morale. What we've seen consistently is companies from Amazon to Tesco to Walmart and others have introduced what is considered to be bossware or surveillance technology, that employees really don't like it, even if it makes their lives better. Okay, well, if you don't like your job, just quit.
The fuck is that?
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, that sounds great, doesn't it? These are the people that, of course, are the front men and women for this transition, but behind the scenes, in a centralized way, all of the strings are being pulled and all of the narratives are being directed into this restructuring of society. And as I often like to point out, the distractions that they do put out there for us to see are so fucking stupid and dumb and need to be made fun of, so that you realize inside of yourself that non-compliance with this bullshit is the only way. And the understanding of that needs to be built from an objective understanding of what rights are. And the definition of a right being an act that does not initiate harm to another being is the basis for understanding the overreach by these government officials that, in theory, are supposed to manage infrastructure, but in reality have become a source of authority in the world with no true basis in nature that other people can have authority over others and tell them what they must do or cannot do with their own mind and body.
I don't think so, Tim.
And as we move forward, under the guise of trying to save the world, these distractions are so telling and revealing once you understand the road that is being mapped out in front of us. As I've said before, one of the best quotes I can refer to is David Icke's quote of, "Know the outcome and you'll see the journey." Because if you understand what they're trying to do, the steps become so obvious within what they're doing. And then the excuses and the distractions become the lunacy that they actually are. And it's much easier to then undermine that illusory authority by realizing this is a bunch of horse shit and grow the courage inside of oneself to say no to this bullshit as they begin to bring it all in. I mean, you have the CNN show.
And now for another fast-breaking news story, we go to our roving reporter, Kermit the Frog.
I can't believe that we're here.
Caitlin, that was a great interview. All right, moving on.
Anyway, well, not moving on, because that's a big issue when it comes to the American... Hold on, please, with the music. That's a big issue when it comes to the American people. The American people are going to have to suffer through all of this stuff, from election deniers to people who don't believe in facts, we don't have a shared reality, and now it's taken center stage to people like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You have one of the big distractions being peddled in this Chinese spy balloon narrative. That, of course, everyone in this whole fucking country almost has TikTok on their fucking phones, which is a much more adequate spy device or spying mechanism than the balloon that looks like it's from Roswell that they tried to sell us back in 47. But the reality is, it is also to build up the narrative of the Russia and China East versus West World War III scenario that they have been building through this proxy war in the Ukraine for about 8 years now, publicly for a year and a half or so.
Yeah, that's right.
So what else do we have here?
Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy of the proposal. Come on, man. That means Congress doesn't vote.
Oh my Lord. People refuse to accept the truth as to what's actually going on here because most people are afraid of the consequences that come with understanding that truth. And they fear the responsibility that comes with understanding that truth that will bring real world consequences. So it's easier for them to point fingers at either side of the dialectic or another country or whoever they're being told to point fingers at. Meanwhile, the lunacy keeps me roaring because it's hilarious. And it's something I like to use to help point out the lunacy of all of this. But it is simply a shitload of distractions that have people looking one way and missing what's going on the other way. And that's how this has worked forever.
Forever.
You know? And after the Trump and then Biden search, home search, now you got Mike Pence having his home search. It's all things to get people talking and distracted. It all means nothing when it comes to the overall umbrella of things that are being brought in under this technocratic hell that will involve smart 15-minute cities with zero availability for transportation. And if you are in the need of commuting, it will be in the form of purchasing and using and earning carbon credits under a totally surveilled existence with a digital currency that they have the ability to shut off if you are to behave or to say things that they do not like. And that is where this is going, and it's where it's being put up all around us, using the excuse of diseases and human-caused climate change and World War III's and all of these things that are being used to be blamed for the situation. All of it has been initiated by government. All of it has been brought about by government. And all of it has been brought about by purposeful events that have caused resource issues and continue to cause resource issues, while also inflating and destroying the currencies around the world by printing more and more money for made-up events and events that are brought about and initiated purposely in order to have an excuse to make and print up all of this money.
We understand that central banks around the world have kept rates suppressed now, artificially suppressed since the last meltdown. What has that done? It's created an environment of risk, cash moving into the global equity markets or stock markets. It has reinflated a global housing bubble. In the same way that the artificially suppressing of rates has created a bubble here in the stock market and a bubble here in real estate, the reverse is going to happen when we get a meltdown in that debt market. You understand? That's the big one. That's the big crash. Okay? Is it possible that this market could fall 20, 30% and still be normal? Absolutely. That's a fact. Even 50%. Okay? But when I'm talking about a crash here, I'm talking about a 90% drop. 90 in the S&P 500.
So, pointing out the lunacy of everything is something I like to do in order to help bring people to a better mindset of how stupid all this is, and to have the courage to see that not complying with their own enslavement is the only way that this will come to an end, because we are the ones doing this to ourselves if in fact this is the direction it ends up going. So we can change that. And the lunacy of it all, to me, is too comical not to make fun of. And I try to use it to help others see it. So, as always, I believe I have rambled on for long enough. And we'll about leave it there this week. Hope all is well. And we will see you on the next one. Get learning, get speaking.
So try it again. Starting me over right back at the end.
When's the last time you were afraid? I haven't been afraid a day in my life.
The dead don't die, the hearts still